in a Christian family. Pentecostal. Pentecostal. I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal. Pentecostal.
That's a damn church right there. That's time for the church, son. We about to have an eyes wide shut church party in the basement. Dude, that's what they call an after party. Y'all ever heard of the after party? You know what I'm saying?
I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal. Pentecostal. I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal. Pentecostal.
I put my key in the ignition. I'm fresh out the kitchen. I put my key in the ignition. I'm fresh out the kitchen. Sippin', don't get wrong. I'm like, so what, I'm drawn. It's a freaking weekend, baby. We about to have some church. Some church.
I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal. Pentecostal. I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal. Pentecostal.
That's a damn church right there.
Oh yeah! There's only one thing that can bring this world together, and that begins with you. The word begins with you, not you. I'm gonna tell you what word it is. Usury! On the dance floor. Bankers, get that ass up! Bankers, get on the floor. Bankers, make the people super poor. RAPE, middle class. Bankers, shake that ass. Sweet cream. Sweet cream. CEOs. Yeah, I'm talking to you. CEOs, I want to see you up on them toes. On the dance floor. Get more hoes, get more paid, get more votes, get more laid. I want to see the CEOs ruining lives to the beat. Ruin those lives at 141 BPM. Bankers, get on the floor. Bankers, make the people poor. Bankers, get more paid. Bankers, get more laid. CEOs, get on your toes. Your base. Raise the interest rates. I want to see the bankers on the floor. I want to see your ass poor. Fiat. Fiat. Usury on the dance floor. Haha! Oh yeah! Only one thing can bring this world together. Destruction of the middle class. Haha! And more fiat cash in my bank account. CEOs, get more paid. CEOs, get real laid. Bankers, shake that ass. Make it clap. Make it fiat clap. Bankers,
Quasimodo. Quasimodo. Got lots of bitches calling me on my mobile. Quasimodo. I Got a natural flesh patch right there for my mobile. I live a life Quasimodo. My bitches be calling me Master Modo. You don't even understand this flow though. When I get older, will I still have an effed up shoulder? Quasimodo. High school kids making fun of me and call me Play-Doh. On this back part right here, just this part is Play-Doh. Quasimodo. I'm up in my castle. It's very dank.
I found her, humpback chick, she was stank on it. Quasimodo, looking for a Quasimodo. Quasimodo, you don't even know what it's like with a little bitty friend on your back like this right here. I got a little brother on my shoulder. Quasimodo, I just bought a weird modified Lambo so that I can drive in a weird way inside a modified Lambo. You don't even understand my flow though. But this was very helpful for my therapy.
Shonak on the beat.
Girl, why you backbiting, whispering, DMing, and talking, texting? I don't like that. It hurts my feelings.
Girl, you always out there just straight gossiping. Why you wanna do it when I got you bling? Girl, you just out there just straight up gossiping. Always out there in the streets just gossiping. Texting, doing nasty things. All you wanna do is just straight gossiping. Girl, why you wanna gossip? I took you on that trip. I gave you all that stuff, all that junk. And you wanna gossip. Hurt my feelings, girl. Why you wanna do that to me? When I got you all those things. Got you all those things. Got you all the things. Gossiping. Why you wanna hurt me with your gossiping? Backbiting ain't nothing to all of me. Backbite, DM, and texting. Why you wanna do that to me? Gossiping. Telling my friends I got a little bitty thing. Gossiping and gossiping. Whispering and backbiting going psst, 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 psst. Rumors going crazy. It's like a fractal of rumors all around. Now the streets talk me down. They make fun of me because of you, girl. Please delete and remove all the texts that you sent out. I don't care to who. Just delete all of those bad feelings, girl. Gossiping. Why you wanna be just straight up gossiping? Sending nasty texts to my grandmama. Even Granny thinks that I'm a loser now.
So my son was headed off to camp, and before he went, he shared a really cool thing. I said, "Hey, what are you hoping to get from this?" And he said, "Papa, I just want to meet new people and do cool things."
There's a lot of cool people in the world. There's a lot of cool things in the world. Did you ever notice that? A lot of cool people. There's a cool guy named Bob and Bill. There's also a pretty cool guy named Phil, but not everybody's cool. Some people isn't, but that's okay.
I just wanna meet new people, Papa. Meet new people, Papa. And I wanna do so many cool things.
Just want to meet new people and do a lot of cool things.
Welcome back. Another live stream.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just wanna meet new people and do so many cool things. I just wanna meet new people. And I wanna do so many cool things. Oh, yeah. What's up, y'all? Welcome. It's another time for another live stream, baby. It's going to get lit. It's going to get real. It's going to get hype. You're about to get earworms already with that beautiful music streaming for free. You know, it's been a while since we had a new cringecore track. And I want to give a shout out again to Dr. Evo, the producer, who produced the hottest little ditty of late. Pentecostal. That shit's hype. Woo! It's hot in here, isn't it? Isn't it? Of course it is. But look, we got a lot of fun, crazy stuff to talk about today. We got a lot of vindications. More vindications. I can't even keep up with all the vindications. They're just stacking up left and right. I don't even know where to begin. Let's just start here. First up, we'll start with a little bit of Hollywood nonsense before we get to the religious stuff. The religious stuff. Are you religious? Are you spiritual? Are you a spiritual person? Are you religious? Do you believe in the transcendent? Well, today, you're going to get your fill, son. Why? What's going on? Well, turns out the establishment is admitting the things that we've said for so many decades almost, bro. Epstein emails show a conspiracy. The theorists are right. Eyes Wide Shut is real. Oh, really? You think? You think? Let's rewind to 2016 when I collated all of my stories, my programs and my stories into one book, Esoteric Hollywood Part 1. And lo and behold, what did we talk about right away? I said, you know what's going on? They are compromising people. And I put that Ralph Child Mansion on the first chapter. He doesn't talk about nothing that's really going on. Oh, you didn't read the book, did you? And then what do we do first? Boom, baby. Booyah. We were right all along. Look at that freshly cut Esoteric Hollywood 1. This classic, which you can still get signed copies, by the way, in the shop at Jay's Analysis. And we did so good, we went all the way to Part 3. It's a trilogy, baby. Look at that fresh cut Part 3. I can smell the Eyes Wide Shut orgies and the sweat just dripping off of. Is this your ASMR? All you dorks love your ASMR. Here, listen to my sniffing ASMR. Is that what you want? All you freaks and geeks? You got refuted. You got refuted in real time. Everybody got refuted in real time. All of yous. And I was vindicated all the way to the trilogy, Part 3. Look at that. Even mainstream authors and writers. This is some mainstream publication, The Rap, The Rag. Even the mainstream rags are admitting, hey, the conspiracy theorists were right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you can get Ahead of the curve. Ahead of the curve. If you get a hold of Esoteric Hollywood, parts 1, 2, and 3. The beautiful trilogy. I mean, it's beautiful. Tell me it's not beautiful. How come nobody does sniffing ASMR, right? You got nerds that have never been touched, never had a hug. Little nerds in basements, living in the corner, like that movie Powder. Never seen the sun. Never smelled a woman. Well, there you go. Now you have had your daily sniffing ASMR for one day. Signed copies in the shop at Jay's Analysis. Now, we went full Biden on that one. We was sniffing full Biden. Remember your girl DASHA? Remember DASHA? Well, DASHA is everywhere all of a sudden. She's viral. Why did DASHA go viral? Well, it's not just because of our debate. And if you remember, we had a hype, funny DASHA debate. DASHA. Your girl DASHA. I do want to play just this one little funny clip from the debate, if you don't remember.
Yeah, but I also think that the Slavic mind, especially, is able to comprehend and exist in contradiction. And that actually it sort of thrives.
Okay. An argument so wild, it threw me for a loop. And that is when I lost the DASHA debate. I have to concede. My first debate loss is when I was hit with that Slavic curveball argument that the Slavic mind can exist in a state of contradiction. Now, what happened? Oh, well, turns out she talked to Nick, and this handsome, sexy man here reported her to the NKVD, reported her to the authorities. This tremendous man here, sexy, hot, little hobbit. Tell me that's not the hottest hobbit you have not seen in a while. I mean, we all know about Frodo, Sam, Merry Pippin, all hot as hell, dude. Woo! What? This sexy little curly haired man here. Look at him. Come look. Jamie says, "Who's the hot hobbit?" Jamie's getting jealous because I'm not calling her the hottest hobbit. This man right here. Oh. Is he not a sexy hobbit? Tell me that's not. You didn't know there was Jewish hobbits? There are. This is one right here. He said, Sam, they're taking the hobbits to the Federal Reserve. They're taking the hobbits to the Federal Reserve. They're taking the hobbits to the Federal Reserve. Sam. Mr. Frodo. They're lending out the hobbits at usury, Mr. Frodo. No, tell me that shit wasn't funny. We all know it was funny. This man did his due diligence and stalked DASHA and got her fired. So canceling is back, baby. It's the hottest little thing on the internet right now. Sexy, hot canceling. Look at this. Guess what happens? This is what people are so stupid. When you cancel, she's going to be 10 times more popular now because you canceled her, you doofuses. And today's theme will be the establishment getting savaged, bro. They're going to get savaged. How? Well, because they're still operating in that boomer mindset. Every one of these responses is full on boomer, even though this is a little sexy little hobbit man who looks like he's 20, 15, maybe. They're still operating like it's 2005 when you just call up and cancel people. Well, now you made DASHA 20 times more popular because of your little sexy hobbit canceling. Now, we got all kinds of crazy news going on. I don't even know what to do with this. Is this real? The guy We're going crypto. We're going crypto. Andrew Tate has lost all of his money from crypto, supposedly fully liquidated. I don't know how to gauge this, though. How does Polymarket know? I mean, some people's wallets are public where you can see what they're doing and where they're at. So is that real? Negative 794,000? But also, he'll claim all kinds of stuff like, I got $200 million Bitcoin. $200 million Bitcoin. I mean, who knows what he really has? I don't know. But let's get back to where we was at. Okay, what's going on? What's the news? Let's get focused. Focus. By the way, speaking of
Throes of the Monarch,
we did this Mariah Z interview. Mariah Z. Shout out to Mariah Z. We had a great interview. And we just did another interview today about the craziness of what's going on with this Representative Wilson. We'll get to that in a moment. So check out the Maria Z interview if you missed it. But I wanted to note, have you noticed a pattern? It's as if the people who cancel are jealous. It's almost like the people who cancel are envious, maybe not hobbits, but maybe goblins. What do you guys think? I think so. Now, I don't know if we're ready for this yet, because this one was just so savage, dude. Savage, bro. Let's see. We're still in Hollywood, aren't we? Yeah. Now, geoengineering was all in the discussion a few days ago because of Tucker interviewing a man about geoengineering. Well, it turns out I've also been talking about that for over 10 years, and we put the essays on that into Esoteric Hollywood too. So another vindication. I'm racking up vindication so quick, I don't even know what to do with all of it. Racking and stacking. Vindications. Now, the answer is yes. The interview will be coming out closer to Thanksgiving because I talked to Gerald. So we don't know. I don't know exactly, but yeah, that'll be coming out. Don't worry. Oh, here we go. This is the other thing I want to talk about. Now, let's get over here to Francis before we get to that. By the way, I opened up my Discord and I got this notification that Discord has now orbs on Discord. I'm like, how is Scam Shamu, how is he hacking into Discord and taking it over? I don't know, but he's doing it somehow. I was happy to see this covered finally. Now, I knew about this a long time ago. Let's make it big. This is Gregory Baum, a Jewish Catholic priest and the writer of the drafts of Nostra Aetate. He supposedly converted and then was defrocked because he was a Skittles man and a Skittles activist. His whole ethos was ecumenism, liberation theology, and not to convert the Jews. And this is the guy that drafted, in part, along with a bunch of other goblins, Vatican II's Nostra Aetate. Has the Vatican renounced Nostra Aetate in the last 70 years? No, they have not. They have continued this policy, which shows you they have promoted heresy and they are apostate. There you go. And what are the Roman Catholics saying? It just doesn't count. It just doesn't count. Well, if it doesn't count, why aren't the popes protecting the church from this fatal error that you don't have to convert Jews and that Muslims, Christians, Jews all worship the same God? Oh, it's because they are part and parcel to this. It is not looking good for the papists. Now let's get over here to Francis. To Francis Leo, same thing, same difference. Because we had a couple more doozies. This was wild. I've never seen such a savaging in the comments of anybody except for when Bill Gates during COVID, during the COOF, was posting on Instagram, and it was just thousands and thousands of people savaging Bill Gates. This is equal to or greater than that. This is a massive awakening. People are beginning to wait. Hey, wait a minute. You live in a giant palace with a Leonine wall, and you have the most insane level of laws about coming into the Vatican City State, and you're lecturing everyone else on the basis of your faux guilt about open borders? Are you serious? I urge heads of state and leaders of nations to listen to the cry of the poor. There's no justice, no peace without justice, right? Migration. The poor reminds us in many ways through migration as well as through their cries, which are stifled by the myth of well-being and progress. And everyone in the comments, thousands, 99% opposition, 99%. I don't care about ex cathedra. It shows his views. This has nothing to do with set aside ex cathedra and infallibility, and let's talk about indefectibility. How is he not defected if all he teaches is globalism? What is the immigration policy of the Vatican? This chick asks. One of the strictest in the world. I said, you just got the greatest ratio of all time. And somebody was like, excuse me, ratio refers to numbers, not comments. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, protector. Thank you, nerd. Thank you, white knighting for this total Skittles, man. Obvious Skittles, man. Not since Bill Gates got cooked has anyone been cooked as bad. And by the way, the statement is actually Marxist, right? You should feel guilt that your nation is successful, and if you don't have open borders, it's because you are ripping off the poor and you're mean and evil and hate poor people. You live in a freaking palace. You say that people can have. You live in a palace with a giant wall, with the strictest immigration in the world, with a secret bank that's more secret than anywhere else in the world. You have the Vigilii, who are your own private secret service, and yet you lecture everyone on not having guns, not having borders. You are the biggest freaking organized crime fraud in the world. And all of these simps believe and follow your nonsense. So people don't know about the papal secret service. They're called the Vigilia. And guess what? Oh, yeah, they're armed dummies. They protect the papacy. See them right here?
In September of 2015, the leader of the Roman Catholic Church, Pope Francis, visited the United States. The Secret Service was tasked with ensuring the safety of the Holy Father and all the foreign dignitaries and VIPs, as well as the public at large. This is not the first papal visit we've supported, but what made this one special is that it was the longest visit a pope has made to the U.S., with stops in Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City.
So he can also request apparently local Secret Service, you see. Now, this is very relevant to what we talked about with the Cold War. And one of these characters, Luigi Poggi, was the Roman Catholic prelate nuncio and spy master who led the entity, the Foreign Intelligence Service of the Holy See. Interesting. So we've been told that it's conspiracy theory to talk about this stuff, and then I'm a bad person for talking about it. Oh, but wait a minute, it's actually public information, public knowledge, that he led a partnership with what? The CIA, of course. So not only do they have their own intelligence agency and their own Secret Service, this is well known, but you should be disarmed. You should have open borders. I mean, this is such obvious, insane level open fraud. And if you talk about it, these people just shout you down as the bad person. It's kind of insane. Charles Carroll says the poor and the foreign are used as bioweapons, and they will be eliminated when the campaign is over. Absolutely correct. Leonardo says, maybe deal with your PDF priests before you start telling all the other countries what to do. Oh, he's so based and tried. Are you retarded? U.S. and Europe cannot have billions of third world people invade the borders. Of course they can. That's the plan. That's the goal. Even Eric Prince pops in and says, we will listen to promoting open border immigration when you leave unlocked every door at the Vatican. Exactly. And even the trad cats are picking up on that. Wait a minute, this is false compassion. This is subversion cloaked as Christian charity and compassion, and people are figuring this out. Now, remember, Leo is not saying anything new. Leo is actually saying what is in Vatican II's Gaudium et Spes. Gaudium et Spes teaches chain migration in paragraph 66, open borders. And remember that we did a whole talk on this, that the Vatican teaches open borders, de-armament, because they are essentially a Marxist socialist organization, not run by Moscow, but the World Economic Forum style, you see. And by the way, that is worth placing right here. Did you know the Vatican documents officially teach United Nations style leftist, pacifist, Marxist socialism, which is Fabian socialism? You say. Why is Leo saying the very same thing as Klaus, the very same thing as all the globalists? Because he works for them. The indefectibility of the papacy is simply, obviously not true. He would not be teaching, preaching, and pushing everything that Klaus Schwab and the globalist elites want if it was the infallibly designated preserver of Christian theology. In fact, people are pointing out that this book, this fiction book, Camp of Saints, even predicted globalist papacy. Rachel Wells says, how many of the poor are you bringing in here to behind your Leonine wall? Literally every comment, this is insane, are calling him Marxist, calling him to stop being a hypocrite, the Vatican wall. And look at this. This was one of the best for hypocrisy. Vatican cracks down on illegal immigrant entry into its territory. Look at that. Catholic News. How is papal infallibility and indefectibility true if he continues to push the evil agenda that is destroying the entire West? Stop being a naive dupe. In fact, they were getting $455 million, the Catholic bishops. They're paid $500 million here for illegal immigration is what it is. This is absolute proof that the Roman Catholic Church is an organized crime syndicate right here. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops has partnered with the deep state and Catholic charities to help this is 2025, 1 million people in right here. They are open engines of this. Tear down that wall. God is using immigration as a punishment. You are punishing us. Even this guy, heaven has a gate. The Vatican has a gate, but America can't have a gate. You live in an actual fortress, in a palace. People have figured this out. It doesn't work anymore. You can't openly be a gigantic hypocrite anymore when people can freely say stuff on the internet. Tear down your giant wall. How many Islamic invaders will you take in to the Vatican? And by the way, this is a great pointing out of the hypocrisy here. So wait a minute. The only poor people that count are the migrants? What about poor people in your own city, in your own local municipality? People are awake to this weapon. What's the Vatican policy on foreigners? Foreigners cannot apply for a visa or asylum or residency. If you try to illegally enter the Vatican city-state, it's 15 years imprisonment. The Vatican is just open socialism now. It's hilarious. Shut up, libtard. There's legal and illegal immigration. Why are you pushing illegal? You are not a pope, you're a globalist. Oh, I assure you he is the pope. And he is a globalist. This is what you people have got to wake up to. I mean, this is just example evidence 5,431 enter into the record that the papacy is a tool of the elites. And look, every comment is against him. Look at this. This is great. I mean, I scrolled through hundreds of them and I don't remember finding anyone supporting this. Every comment. This is crazy. Vatican socialism. I support open borders for the Vatican. There was one Cope comment right there. So I had to come all the way down to here to find the actual Cope, which is the standard casuistry. He's not actually talking to the people; he's speaking specifically to heads of state. Like that, like, who cares a shit? That doesn't matter. Every comment. So this is another vindication. This is another point we have been talking about for over 10 years plus, that the Vatican is a tool of a globalist geopolitical agenda to destroy nation states, to destroy the West, And they've been very open about it. And Vatican II was the public universal sign of that apostasy for everyone to see openly. Because not only did Nostra Aetate and Lumen Gentium teach this idea that we all have paths to God through whatever religion that we're in, a kind of a syncretism or a perennialism, we saw the papacy then opening up the religious worship side to where we can now worship together with other religions. So, if you can't see it at this point, there's something wrong with you. There's something happening with you. There's a spiritual problem, a lack of discernment, a blindness that has occurred that you really need to think about and deal with. Because there's nothing even hidden at this point. There's no, well, it's just not clear exactly what's going on at this point. Now, after that, he put up this. Pope Leo will be having lunch with 4 TRANZ in an unprecedented meeting. Oh, he's doing this to convert them. Who actually believes this anymore? Oh, they're praying in the mosque to convert the Muslims. Only the most idiotic, low IQ, just liar would believe that. This is subversion. He's doing this to show and to signify the acceptance of it. Jesus ate with sinners. That's not what the Pope is doing. Jesus ate with sinners to help them convert. That's not what he's doing. There was nothing about that procession into the Vatican that was to help the Skittles people convert. It was a sign of a change. Imagine believing that he's doing this to convert them. Are you serious? Like, how naive and stupid could you be? Well, that's who's left in the Roman Catholic Church, is these kinds of people. Now, what's on his mind today? Is Leo out here talking about the destruction of the West and the churches? No, actually, what's on Leo's mind is climate change. Yes, you heard me right. Climate change. That's the pressing topic today. Urgent. Open borders and climate change. That's his message. This is the news today. God's creation is crying out for you to have a carbon tax and for you to submit to Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum. The Pope went to the United Nations to talk about Brazil and concrete actions to be taken about climate change. And he's just like his counterpart, the fraud Bartholomew, who has the same green gospel as him. Everybody should be aware that the green agenda is part of a Malthusian, technocratic United Nations agenda. And it has been openly all the way back to the Rio agenda, the Rio event, 1990? The Rio Earth Summit. And who was speaking at the Rio Earth Summit? Maurice Strong, all the other internationalists, globalists. Oh, we got to have a global government. We got to depopulate. The 1992 Rio Earth Summit. That's what Leo is talking about. Same stuff. So this is 100% proof he is on board, again, with this exact same agenda. There is no reason to be a Roman Catholic at this point at all. And the trad world is nothing but chaos. You cannot be a traditional Catholic and believe Vatican I and reject the last 70 years of papal teaching. Anyway, so there's the papacy stuff. Now, as we move on, it gets crazier because turns out this South Carolina. Who is this person? Let's see who he is first. U.S. Representative Joe Wilson of South Carolina. And, it turns out the Russian Orthodox Church is a secret tool of Putin and the Russian intelligence networks. We're all KGB spies. Now, he put this up, and it's already had, yesterday, almost 500,000, hundreds and hundreds of comments. If you count the quote tweets, thousands. Nothing but savaging him. 99% savaging him. Here's Cleve's response. So he says that Russia is persecuting Christians. Here's the actual Zelensky government destroying Orthodox churches. So that's what this wicked goblin supports. Father John Wyford says, you support beating up old ladies and stealing churches in the Ukraine. Now you want to start persecuting the Orthodox Church in America. Guess what? Every comment is just savaging him. You are a persecutor of Christ. You have no clue what you're talking about. The beautiful thing is that people are awake enough that I don't even have to read the comments to know that everybody's pushing back. Buck says, exactly. You're a disgusting liar. The Zionists that cut your campaign checks, did they order you to tweet this out? Nice projection, by the way. Operation Gladio book, classic. You will stop at nothing to keep orthodoxy from spreading. You were a moron. I'm a subdeacon. Our parish is full of normal Americans. Well, we support Christian persecution in Ukraine. Why are you here in the U.S.? Exactly. Diocletian tried what you're doing. He failed. So you believe persecuting anti-war Christians is good. Good to know, yeah. This is despicable. I'm a Russian Orthodox Christian. I'm a combat veteran. I went to West Point. How dare you suggest that me and thousands of Orthodox are somehow agents of a foreign power? You are a neocon. You champion the destruction of Orthodox Christians in Syria, Ukraine, Iraq. Oh, interesting. Where does he get his money? Shocker. I mean, every comment is just calling this dude out. In fact, it was so unanimous that he had to issue a counter response and walk it back, and it made him look even dumber. I'll show you that in a second. Ready for your political career to be torpedoed? You're about to lose going after Orthodox Christianity. You attack Christ when you attack the Orthodox Church. I'm an American. I'm Orthodox. You're attacking my church. May God have mercy on you. You're an idiot. You're a dispensationalist heretic. You're advocating the persecution of the church. Every comment. You have to go down to... Now, who does he hang out with? Oh, Al-Qaeda. The guy saying that orthodoxy is evil is himself chilling with Jolani, the ISIS Al-Qaeda operative who took down Assad. You're an antichrist demon. And everybody is calling him out. Shut up, liar. You're as dumb as Adam Kinzinger. You are anathema. I mean, yeah, you're disgusting. I had to go down to all the way down to the very bottom to find Boomer trash, exactly. To find a NAFO bot, a couple NAFO bots. That's it. Like all the way down to the bottom to find a couple NAFO bots. Why are you gay? This guy is accurate here. Al-Qaeda is not a separate religious organization, but an extension of the deep state. Evangelizing is illegal in Syria. Christians are targeted by Jilani and the Sunni radical Islamic proxies. And yet here you are with them. People, this boomer shit don't work no more, dummy. Everybody's figured this shit out now. Even I was surprised that everybody is calling this dude out. Now let's see his trying to walk it back. My comments pertain only to the leadership of Rokor. Now he's walking it back and saying, "Oh, I'm sorry I offended all you Orthodox. No, I'm just after Kirill and the KGB. It's not the Cold War anymore, boomer. You stupid boomer." And again, everybody's calling him out. So, pretty good chance that guy will not be reelected, I would say. And he deserves it. Stop voting for these retards and these stupid ass, just disgusting fucking boomers, dude. I'm so sick of these boomers, man. The country will collapse because of fucking boomers. That's why. The boomers are a scourge. And I'm the one that called out the boomers first. I'm the one that is the granddaddy, the godfather of boomer jokes and calling out these freaking boomers, man. They're the worst. They're absolute worst. Not all of them. Yes, there are good Orthodox priests, godfathers, good solid people. For example, Dean Arnold, Jim Jatras. And Jim's the one that called it out right away. It is not hard to see the fingerprints of the U.S. deep state and the ecumenist elements of the Orthodox, the fake Orthodox, in this Gato operation to call everybody Russian agents. This is so stupid, man. Now, I did an interview today on this. It'll be going up today with Maria Z. And this is really just a continuation of the Duganist, exactly, yeah. Duganist. It's really just a continuation of the Russia collusion narrative that collapsed. And these idiotic, out-of-touch boomer people are still trying to use this, still trying to prop this up. These just stupid neocons, man. Still trying to prop this up. This is all going away. The MAGA civil war is evidence of this all going away. People are tired of it. People know what's going on. People know that the Epstein stuff highlights and explains everything. That's why it's such a big deal. That's why they don't want to talk about it. So the gig is up. Like we see through the bullshit. And note that the vast amount of opposition that I had the last 8-10 years, people trying to get me excommunicated from the Orthodox Church as soon as I joined it, people trying to make sure I wouldn't become Orthodox, people trying to
tell me that if you join, you're going to be excommunicated. People that persecuted me just outright nonstop for first couple of years. And then it turned into OCA bishops and priests coming after me for nothing. For what? For converting people. But what does this show? It shows that I was correct and I was vindicated. There's obviously deep state subversion going on. When they created the schismatic church in the Ukraine, the CIA and Pompeo and these people were bragging about it. Ukrainian diplomat admits the U.S.'s role in creating the schismatic OCU. Former CIA head goes to congratulate former acting director and associate director of the CIA goes to meet with the schismatic patriarch in Ukraine that the CIA, the State Department set up. I mean, I talked about this for so long and was just absolutely called every name in the book. People tried to do everything to come after me for nothing. People like Father Andrew Damick tried to get me excommunicated, tried to get me out of the church as soon as I joined the church. That's how nasty these people are. And I was correct. By the way, has anybody from that side ever reached out and apologized? Absolutely not. None of them. Not one. Even though I was correct about that. And then in the COOF times, I was correct about all the COOF stuff. Did any of the people calling me out? No, none of them. So all of these establishment people keep pushing the establishment perspective, not realizing that the narrative has collapsed, you dummies. Read the room. Can you not read the room? Everyone knows that the Zio tweet storm of the last 2 weeks is all paid for. It's not organic. James Lindsay, Officer Tatum, all of those people are paid to push all this stupid shit, and everybody knows it. I don't know what else there is. What else can we do and say? Yeah, what else can we say? Now let's think back to what we said with, remember the debates on Timcast? Remember the debate with Cameron Cucking Christianity, whatever his name is? Remember how they were all trying to defend Nostra Aetate and make it work? Oh, it turns out I was correct about that, wasn't I? Turns out Nostra Aetate was written by a gay Jewish guy. Gorilla Biscuits is a member. What's up, dog? Gorilla Biscuits, $5. Thank you. EB, $5. How come your bangers aren't on Spotify? I've uploaded a lot of these to Spotify. I don't know why they don't pop up. Maybe I should just do like a separate thing. Like a separate profile somehow. I don't know. I mean, I just have a feed that goes out to, I think, Spotify and everything. So anything uploaded on to the podcast feed goes up to that. But Gabriel Campos, Jamie is about to lose her husband to the hot hobbits. Exactly. Rui Texera, Jay, you're always one step ahead of everybody, whether it's a religion or the conspiracy world. You're ahead. Not bad for a Funko Pop. Keep it up. Thank you. You just, I wish I could get more people to listen to what we say over here and to listen to what we talk about. I don't know what the disconnect is. You know what I mean? Like, what is it that we're not doing good enough over here? Is it that the live streams are too long? Is it that we talk about too much intellectual stuff? I still haven't figured out the disconnect. So you guys help me out. Figure out what exactly the disconnect is. Help me to be better. You guys help me be better. Matt Dillon Monkey says, Jay, you're so vindicated. So many prophecies have come true that you might actually be the black Hebrew Israelite prophet. You are Yakub's finest lieutenant. I'm actually the first creation of Yakub. When Yakub created the ultimate black man, which is the pattern for the white man, he created me. I was in the mind of Yakub as his first creation. But that's why I'm black, because all the white people are derivative of me. They lost that melanin, dog. You should pay people to clip your shit. We have 10 clips channels that are running wild, and they're doing great. And they are able to eventually monetize. So I have given people the permission to do that. And we have about 10 clips channels they're not all monetized. You got to get to a certain tier before you can monetize. But we've got J. Dyer Archive, which is doing great. Orb Productions doing great. Menestius doing great. Dyer Clips, obviously, with Kyle, been there for a few years. Dyer Central is really killing it. Orb Inc. And I tell people, go ahead and clip. But here's the thing, like, everybody's clipping on YouTube, which is great. But there's no, nobody's clipping on Instagram except for Dyer Central and Dyer Archive. And you got to get into the Instagram and the X cycle as well. So guys need to do that, because look, these are doing great. Look at this, 20,000, 25,000, 8,000, 32,000. Oh, that's that retard calling me out. But no, these are doing good. And a lot of the clip channels are getting equal to or more than what we get on the actual main channel. So the more the merrier, bro. Dyer Vault, shout out to Dyer Vault, doing great. I mean, let's just have a little party right here for this.
I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal. I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal.
That's a damn church right there. That's time for the church, son. We about to have an eyes wide shut church party in the basement. Dude, that's what they call an after party. Y'all ever heard of the after party? You know what I'm saying?
I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal. I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal.
I put my key in the ignition. I'm fresh out the kitchen. I put my key in the ignition. I'm fresh out the kitchen. Sippin' on coke and rum. I'm like, so what, I'm drunk. It's a freaking weekend, baby. We about to have some church.
I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal. I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal.
Yeah, so the funny thing about this with the history of the church, again, as we've said, in terms of the Cold War, for those that don't know, there's a great interview that we did with Metropolitan Jonah some years back where we got into the history of the KGB and Russia. And this is a great interview because a lot of people oversimplify this and they think, there was all KGB bishops. Everyone's a KGB in the Russian church in the Cold War. And what you learn is that, no, actually what happened was there were tiers and there were totally fake bishops. There were people that were possibly susceptible to compromat. And there were people who were not compromisable. So they had these levels within the KGB or the NKVD to classify people according to what they thought they could get. So it's a lot more nuanced. There was the catacomb church, there's persecution. It's not like all of the Russian church was KGB in the Cold War. This is so stupid. By the way, a lot of trad cats believe this, by the way. And if you actually, interview people who are historians on this, they will go into this. Now, what's the other thing that we want to keep in mind? And that's that the Russian church was originally outside of Russia was aided by Western intelligence with people fleeing the Bolsheviks and fleeing the persecution. So you have white Russians leaving, monarchist Russians and nobility leaving because the Bolsheviks and the NKVD and all that are nasty. So Western intelligence says, okay, we'll help you. Come on over here to the West, the free West, etc. Now, that's good, but also there's now a new possible master. You see, now you're going to have to submit to the British establishment or to the CIA. And there's a great kind of classic article. I'm not saying everything in this article is perfect, but it's a classic article kind of laying out from Orthodox England the nuances of this history. And everybody wants to make all this like super black and white. And all of these dumb boomer Cold Warrior people want to act like, oh, it's the Russian Orthodox Church is all KGB. And as you'll know, the mere concept that as a Russian Orthodox priest, I should support the CIA because of some delusion about democracy is just as extraordinary as the idea that an Orthodox priest should support the KGB, you see. And notice that it was an old calendarist that was trying to tell this priest in England that he must support the CIA. It is true that the KGB used its agents and dupes in the Orthodox Church to support it, as we know from our experience of the Cold War in Western Europe. But then the CIA did the exact same thing, as we know from our experience in the Western Church, in Western Europe. Both secret services love to place weak and therefore eminently compromisable individuals in senior positions. Both did their best to undermine the church as well in its own way. The crimes of the KGB and the Russian Orthodox Church are well known. However, those of the CIA and the Orthodox churches are less known, no doubt because it continues to this day. So this is the great response to this boomer Congressman Wilson or whoever he is. He goes back into British intelligence. He argues about British intelligence being involved with Rasputin. That some of this is debatable, but he goes into the notorious Freemason Greek patriarch Melitios Metaxakis. This is a well-known scandal. We're going to skip down past that. He was a mega ecumenist, promoted all kinds of Masonic ecumenist nonsense, caused a schism. He's using this as an example. But it's interesting too because Patriarch Melitios, just like Bartholomew, tried to set himself up as a kind of Orthodox pope. And that's exactly the model that Bartholomew has followed. Such a novel and uncanonical policy as of the idea of an Eastern papacy that would be run out of Istanbul must have been thought up by Western or British secret services. These agents would have relied upon advice from their fellow Masonic establishment employees in the Church of England. That's, of course, why Melitios Metaxakis was doing prayer and ecumenist services with the Anglican Church in the 1920s. It was not thought up by any Orthodox canonist. The Orthodox churches found themselves squeezed between Masons and atheists. And of course, most Masons are also atheists. Little wonder that their lives were so hard and disunity was engineered. Divide and rule, as in the 1920s, old calendar was split in Greece and in the diaspora. Following the fall of British power in the Second World War and virtually bankrupt, Britain and its secret services handed over the Middle East and the Patriarch of Constantinople to U.S. influence. Thus, it was that the CIA soon began to interfere in the affairs of the Patriarch of Constantinople, visibly from 1940 on, when it toppled Patriarch Maximus V. Now, remember, this was declassified in certain documents that we've covered many times in the last few years, but this priest was spot on because he was talking about what was declassified. This article was written like 15 years ago. 10 or 15 years ago. So this vindicates what he said because that's now declassified. Patriarch Maximus had close ties to the Russian Orthodox Church and did not support American designs in the Balkans, so he was a problem. On the toppling of Patriarch Maximus, westernized Greek clerics at once received CIA support and replaced the rightful patriarch with the Freemason Athenagoras, who said, we're now at union with Rome. There is no more schism, right? This is what Athenagoras, who kissed fellow CIA Pope Paul VI. And if you doubt that, that's covered in multiple, even CIA, pro-CIA narratives about Kissinger and the CIA supporting Paul VI in the Cold War and his papacy. Patriarch Athenagoras had been well trained in American politics and had visited, having been the Fenars Archbishop in the U.S. Patriarch Maximus himself survived for 24 years after the coup d'etat, living until 1972, exiled in Switzerland. In like manner, the CIA began to use other dupes in the 1990s to stab the Russian Orthodox Church in the back. First, they sent large numbers of their own sectarian missionaries who paid starving ex-Soviet citizens, because Yeltsin had privatized and sold out to his cronies the jewels of the Russian industry, $1 at a time to come to listen to their propaganda. Then it sent proselytizers through CIA-orchestrated Vatican policies of John Paul II, and we've detailed how it was that he was such a CIA stooge. And you notice that this even came up with Luigi Poggi, the Vatican super spy nuncio, because it tells you right here, Poggi established partnerships with the CIA in the 1980s and the Solidarity Movement. This was the CIA's operation that was connected to Lech Walesa and John Paul II to help end communism. Now, again, I'm not saying communism's good. I'm saying that this shows you the CIA's narrative and interests in the both Orthodoxy and the Vatican. Let's see, where did I leave off? Here was especially necessary. They used pro-Nazi uniates to undermine the Western Ukraine, which Poland wanted back again. At the same time, the CIA organized the bombing of Serbia by its NATO pawns, and later its EU pawns in Brussels, next door to NATO headquarters, to take over Romania, Bulgaria, Cyprus, as they had done with Greece in 1981. That's telling you everything right there. And this, by the way, is where we get the real neo-ends in the Ukraine, right here. Despite all the attempts to manipulate and retard the growth of the Russian Orthodox Church, that is, to do what the CIA had already done with the Patriarch Constantinople and satellites in Finland and France, the Russian Church rapidly expanded in 1985 on in the West, and that's still happening. Just as in 1917, Tsar Nicholas was toppled on the one side by the German enemy and on the other side by the allies of Britain, France, and the USA, using the Bolsheviks, supporting them. So today, the Russian Orthodox Church has become a menace to the KGB and the CIA. Now, he wrote this in 2011. I support neither the KGB nor the CIA because I am in the church, and the church will always be on the cross between two thieves. Whether one of them or even both of them one day remains to be seen. So you understand the wisdom in this, that the cross is first, and the thieves of the CIA and the thieves of the KGB are both bad guys. That has been what we've been saying for all this time. And if you say this, they will say, oh, you're a Russian operative, you're KGB. KGB, yep. Now, it's all the more absurd, too, because my uncle, and I found his old newspaper clipping when he passed away. And the newspaper clipping actually vindicated the stuff that I've been telling you for forever. I'm going to just read this when my uncle passed away. It says, I'm going to skip certain parts, but following his studies, he joined the U.S. Air Force, where he served in the Korean War in special operations as a Russian translator stationed in Turkey. So, as I told you guys, it was true. Logie, $5. So, I mean, if my uncle was a cold warrior, does it really make sense that I would be a Russian agent? It's so retarded. Logie, $5. I saw you talk about Matthew 24. No one knows the day or the hour. You said it's hyperbole, but the Greek word can also mean to declare. Context is what's going to tell us, not definitions of Greek words. This is a very sort of fundamental mistake that people who, especially Protestants, will make, where they think all I have to do is look up the Greek word and the definition of the Greek word will tell me everything I need to know theologically. Well, that's actually leads to a lot of heresies. So it doesn't matter that in Acts 1, Jesus uses the word eido about knowing. It's the context that tells you whether or not it's hyperbole. And if Jesus says if it says in other places that Jesus knows all things, then no, he's not lacking in knowledge. He is omniscient. But he can use hyperbole to say no one is good but God. Oh, well, I guess that means he's not God and he's not good. It's just a very basic kind of grammatical mistake and not recognizing the type of literature that you're reading or the type of figure of speech that's being used. That's why you should go read Basil's letter on it. So it wasn't just me saying, oh, Jay just says this. No, it's Basil's letter that discusses what does it mean that he doesn't know the day or the hour. Justin, $5. Turbo Grug. Did you see the goober evangelicals in Congress are wanting to go after Orthodoxy? Yeah, we've been covering that. Justin, $2. Representative Don Bacon is doing it too. Well, these are retarded boomers. What do you expect? H. Brazi, $5. Show what I said. I was the only one that thought to bring up how neo-Bolshevism is becoming more prominent amongst these Americanists. CK, $150. Wow, thank you so much. Boomer evangelical dispensationalism. This is a crazy combination. Well, it's also dangerous because these people are crazy. Epoch, 20 pounds. I know I probably said this a million times, but what would you say is the best way to memorize books? I don't know if there's any way to memorize a book. I was suggested to write summaries at the top. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know. I don't try to memorize. I just kind of take notes on the important thing on that page and then, make a note on a sticky note. Jordan Lofgren, $5. Do a stream called Jews Are Wrong About Christ. You will see how many boomer Christians will swarm in to fight with you. I mean, I've been trying to do these. We've done, I don't know how many open spaces inviting boomer Zionist evangelicals. And I mean, they're just totally out to lunch. Nico, $5. By the way, you notice none of the influencers will actually debate, right? You'll get all these flood of goobers in the replies, but none of them who are the influencers will actually come and do any kind of debate. Nico, $5. Will you ever do a stream covering the holy, true, genuine Orthodox? No. Steve McLevin, $2. What is your reaction to the Funko company going bankrupt? I mean, good. Athanasius Papas, $1. Basketball Savage, $5. I think the disconnect from normies in your streams is that most people want to pretend the world is not as corrupt. Well, I don't think our streams are blackpilling, right? I could understand if people, like if I was some black pill dude and it was like depressing or something, but most of what we talk about, I don't think is depressing. It's fun. We have a party every stream. So I don't even know what is black, but maybe people see it as blackpilling. I don't know. What do you guys think? The world's not as corrupt. It gives them a false sense of security. Also, bad faith theorists like Candace Owens will turn people off to these sorts of speculations. J. Jewel, $5. Thank you, Jay. I'm new to Orthodoxy. I don't know about this dang OCU stuff. Yeah, it's a fake schism. Shout out to Saint Simeon, $3. First of all, thank you. Did Christ ever laugh? What are the implications for us if he didn't? I mean, have you read Psalm 2? Psalm 2 will answer that for you. Anonymous, here's $5 for what it's worth. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Flavius, $10. This is peak. All the Florida Gators with a pool vibe. I think he's talking about this right here. Now, we've seen people responding, which is good, to Representative Joe Wilson. This is State Representative Thomas Beach saying this is an ugly smear of orthodoxy, calling them agents of foreign power. This is beneath his office. Is it really, though? I mean, it sounds par for the course to me. But, yeah, thank you for appreciate that guy saying that. But let's see. I mean, everybody's sort of just calling this out. Let's see what the comments are saying over here on Instagram, because we didn't see this part. How much money does he receive from AIPAC? This is ridiculous. I've come to the conclusion that Orthodoxy is incompatible with Americanism. I'm okay with that. Who donates to his campaign? They all said this about Italian and Irish Catholics, that they're all Roman Catholic spies in the 1900s. Yeah, they did say that. Yikes, I'm glad I'm Orthodox. Persecution of Orthodoxy is always the beginning. Yep. I mean, this is all the collusion, the new McCarthyism. Everybody's a Russian agent again. This is so stupid, too, by the way. So shout out to Union of Orthodox Journalists. They're a great profile. If you don't follow them, you should. They're buddies of ours. So be sure and follow them right here. Ismael Solorio, what's up? And this will tell you all the background. All you need to know is this. Yeah, well, they called in the NAFO bots to help boost him after he just got savaged with, thousands of contrary comments. More good news, though. Hollywood is collapsing. More good news. Let's check this out. A little bit of this right here.
1 million practitioners of common sense and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. Hollywood was once the land of imagination, and now it has become collectively a crime against imagination. Now, if it seems like I make a video like this towards the end of every year over the last few years, you'd be right. I'd love to be in the position to say, hey, Hollywood had a pretty good year, but unfortunately, that's not the case. I don't make the rules, I just make the observations, and without a doubt, the entertainment capital of the world is in a half-decade slump, and now some are starting to come to the realization that this might not get fixed. It has been reported that Tinseltown has lost nearly a third of everyone working in the industry, which...
Well, so there's a lot of reasons for this. There's the COOF, which almost totally destroyed the movie industry by design, probably, because Hollywood has done its job of propagandizing and toxifying the West. So they're pretty much done. They don't care anymore because it served its purpose. So, yeah, let it go its way because it's, deracinated and propagandized the West. So maybe they don't care anymore. That's an element, of course, that this guy is not going to talk about because I mean, I don't know who Nerdrotic is, but I'm assuming it's just sort of normie commentary.
Coincidentally matches the amount of ticket sales they've lost over the same amount of time. I don't think I'm going out on a limb by saying 2025 has been one of the worst years for film in living memory, not counting the year Hollywood took off for COVID. And it'll probably go down as the year of the slopbuster. Case in point, at time of recording, the only billion-dollar film is Lilo and Stitch, and the only one that almost made $1 billion was Minecraft, neither of which will go down in the annals of cinema history. Now, there were some surprises, a couple of movies that were bogged down by their budget, so it limited their profitability. One was good, one not so much. F1 and Superman. And some were very profitable, like the sleeper hit of the year, Sinners and Weapons, among others. And most of those successes came from Warner Brothers, who we will get to. But most of the year was filled with flop after flop after flop.
Which, again, is a sign that people are done with the slop. Exactly. We don't care about getting preached at about trans values anymore. No one cares about that. It's over. Thank you guys, by the way, for these super chats and the support. Again, shout out to CK for being so generous. CK is paying the bills today, baby. EVA, $5. What is the title of the book that had Christ and a halo on the spine? Title of the book that had Christ and a halo on the spine. I don't know what you're talking about. Was it something I showed? Or are you talking about something on a screen? Thought Drinker was going to invite Jay. I don't know who that is. You mean Critical Drinker? No, people were just saying that Critical Drinker should have a discussion with me. But guys, if you want me on a thing, it's you got to go in the comments and tell them. Like, that's the only way they pay attention. If I DM somebody, hey, have me on, nobody pays attention to that. Who's a crypto zillionaire? Oh, CK? Word. But EVA, I don't know what book you're talking about. Christ with a halo on the spine. I'm not familiar. Tell me if it's something I showed or what. By the way, guys, this, speaking of crypto, this is my Bitcoin support wallet right there. That's my QR code for if you want to support me via Bitcoin. You can support me there. Anything is appreciated. As you guys know, the dips are the treats. Dips are not bad. People freaking out. Oh, Bitcoin's going to zero. Dude, I've been through, I don't know how many crypto crashes. And the dips are a blessing. Dips are when you can, and I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying what I do. Thank God for the dips, dog. You understand that, like, you probably won't get another chance to get under 100K BTC. So this is what dumb money does. When Bitcoin goes to 150, then they'll be like, oh, gotta get Bitcoin. Gotta get Bitcoin. And then it's like, you should have been buying when it was 90, Goofus. You should have been buying when it was 50, 30, 10. I first bought Bitcoin when it was 1,800. H. Brazi, this has nothing to do with blackpilling. This is mostly just IQ gap between us and what the other channels have as their viewer base. A lot of us discuss what is not interesting to people that are only seeking entertainment. But I mean, you know, you've got large audiences of people that talk about stuff that's not just entertainment. So I don't know. I'm still trying to solve that mystery as to what do we, you know, we're trying out like more regular streams, like every day. So we'll see what that does. I'm just watching this clip because he's talking about Hollywood, which is relevant to what we do.
And worse, months of nothing, including this past October, which was the worst domestic box office for Hollywood in 27 years without adjusting for inflation. This is a slump that was finally busted by the 9th Predator movie, which has massively overperformed. Its original opening weekend box office estimates were $25 million, and it brought in $40 million, which is...
You think that people don't have an attention span? That might be part of it. EV Productions, your old library background. Okay, let's see if I pull up. It's not old, it's just I'm not at that domicile. Let's see. What is the background book with the halo? Christ and a halo. Let me see. Let's go back to
Doug Wilson.
I gotta figure out when I was there. Let's see. Keep going back. They're both under the. Okay, let's see if we can find it here. I can't see it here. I don't know. Maybe ask me next time I'm at that place. Right. So maybe then I'll know. I'm sorry, I can't tell from the background right now. By the way, also, if you guys want to get support, it started with Bitcoin. Use my promo code for Swan Bitcoin right here. You can get started with Swan Bitcoin right here. And they are a Bitcoin only company. So it's the Seraphim Rose book. You talking about Genesis Creation Early Man? Okay. Yes, Genesis Creation Early Man. Let's see. Bobby C says for $5, he's talking about Genesis Creation Early Man. Okay, cool. Perfect. That book, by the way, is back in print, so you can get Genesis Creation Early Man now. Jordan Lofgren, $5. The suggestion would be to keep the title to a single thought. Many people, like boomers, get their theology from a 2-page pamphlet. Well, the problem is that, like, we don't do streams that only talk about theology. So that's also a challenge, is figuring out how to title these streams. I'm not sure how to even do that. It just seems like it, you know, it's almost like it doesn't really matter what I do. It's like, it's always going to be the same. Like we're always going to have 1,000 people in the audience, which, okay, I guess so. I mean, I don't know, but guys, keep clipping. Feel free to make your own clips channels, but especially if you want to do it on X and Instagram and TikTok. Victor, what are tips for understanding, memorizing books? I don't have a process for memorizing a book. When you read, I underline and I make a sticky note if it's an important topic on that page. That's all I could tell you, other than to take your time. Like, I don't read fast. I'm actually a slow reader. David Murdoch Art, it would be great to have a conversation with LDS Abuse. He's talking about a lot of the Latter-day Saints, Skull and Bones, and ritual stuff and SA stuff. Yeah, I'll have to look into that person, because we did actually do a podcast on this with Chiller Queen before she stopped doing podcasts. And she was covering the David Hamlin case right here.
She was abused.
So this was a good conversation on the topic of SA in the world of LDS. Me and my Funko Pop are starting catechism. We'll be getting married after baptism. One more family that will be taking back Wigzantium. Tanner G. That's what I want to hear. That's the type of jihad that is legit. What kind of jihad? We're talking about Wigzantium. Okay, the Wiggers are going to take back Constantinople, dog, and we're going to make it Wigzantium. Yeah, I mean, that's why I underline, right? So people are saying, you know, if you write the notes while you're reading, Sean says you'll get, you're 50% more likely to retain the information. Yeah, that's why I underline so much. And remember, all the tards on X were making fun of me because I underline in the book, but all those tards making fun of me don't even read books. So, but that's why I know the information. It's in here, and they don't know anything. I'll make the first blog TV channel for Jay. What's blog TV? I don't know what that is. Bruh. We need Wigzantium apparel. I might do that. That's actually a really good idea. Guys, remember to head on over to choq.com, CHOQ.com. I don't see any more comments or questions today. Looks like the super chats have dried up. So if you guys want, you can head over to chalk.com and support your own health by getting access to the best in supplementation on the internet, including that Tomcat Ali that will be part of that performance stack. You don't have to buy the performance stack. You can get any of these individually over here in the male vitality or in the shop by benefit or product section. You can get the Tomcat on its own right here if you want. You can get it coming on the regular with the promo code JAY44LIFE. That's J44LIFE. I think you're gonna like it. Okay, let's get rid of this guy. It's getting on my nerves. Drive me crazy. You can also get Aztec Hollywood 1, 2, and 3 in the shop. Use the promo code J40 to get 40% off. I was born in Romania, in a Christian country. In your top 15 books video next to your ear. Okay, let's see what he's talking about. Oh, you might be talking about the spiritual diagnosis of spiritual illnesses book. Let me see. Into all of these therapy for spiritual illnesses is the book you're talking about, and that was given to me by Father Christopher Moody. It's basically just quotes from elders and saints about how you treat every vice with the corresponding virtue. It is this book here. So that's what I think you were asking about. It's that book. Average Redhead became a member. What's up? Shout out to Average Average Redhead. I can't say my R's anymore. I can't say my R's anymore. What did you guys think about all the madness going on with everybody getting savaged? What do you guys think? Because I think this is hilarious and great to see all of these goobers getting savaged, whether it's Pope Francis or Representative Wilson. I mean, to see everybody just pushing back and savaging these people is pretty encouraging. That's why they had to do so much censorship, by the way, was because this stuff was so devastating to the establishment. And people would wake up because ultimately people do end up listening to what's true. It might take years for your position to get vindicated, as in the case of myself. You talk about something for 10 years straight, people call you, crazy, tinfoil hat, insane. And then 10 years later, it's everywhere. And, did anybody admit they were wrong? No, but that's okay. Because the mouthpieces of the establishment, the shills, these people, like they eventually they don't understand they end up being their own worst enemy. And they don't read the room. So like Metropolitan Saba said here, the century of the Church of the Immigrants is done. Now we are in the century of evangelization. Now Orthodoxy's mission is not geographic, but existential. In other words, we're going to continue, and if the establishment persecutes us, this will only increase the church. So it's a lose-lose situation for them and a win-win for us. I read your comment about him, I think. Jim, $5. What about ID? Don't knock all the digital IDs. Don't knock all digital IDs? What do you mean? Decentralized identity is going to allow people to take back their identity in the same way that Bitcoin allows you to take back monetary ownership. Centralized identity is will be death. Look into W3C DIDs. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Paris, $10. Just because, Jay. God bless you. Well, thank you so much. I forgot to mention to you guys that we've gotten to be friends with a director and a producer, and he's a really cool guy. And he invited us to his film festival. And as you guys know, we were got to meet Kevin Sorbo because he was in Vampire Project, which was actually a pretty fun indie film. I enjoyed it. But we're also going to be covering some of his films, and we might do an interview as well.
Done.
And here's the trailer for his most recent film, which was again a very clever, humorous indie film, Vampire Project. We're also going to be covering some of Yvonne's other films. And if you watch Vampire Project, look for Esoteric Hollywood in the background, by the way, because my book pops up in the background at a certain point in the film. Now, Yvonne has done some other projects that I thought are worth analysis. And it has our great hero, Nick Cage. So we're going to be doing analysis of one of Yvonne's other films, Running with the Devil, with Nick Cage and Lawrence Fishburne. And Yvonne has worked with quite a few Hollywood legends, shall we say. So look forward to this next podcast being a podcast on our friends' canon of films. It's going to be fun. Now, I've not actually seen Running with the Devil. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Yvonne was a co-producer on this film, and had some other roles in production, but that's going to be fun to do when we do his body of work, or maybe 4 of them. I don't know if we'll do all of them, but this is one of his products. And beyond that, guess who I had a excellent 1-hour conversation with the other night? Now, you guys know we've had conversations with some of the top Hollywood directors of all time's children. I don't just mean Sean Stone. Of course, we've had classic Sean Stone interviews. But as you guys know, we did Tarkovsky with Father Vladimir. We did 2 or 3 podcasts, I think, with Andre. We did Rublev. We did Film as Icon. So Andrei Tarkovsky, of course, one of the most famous directors of all time. We had 2 or 3 podcasts with his son, Andre Jr. But I just had a long conversation with another child of a legendary director. And we had an hour-long conversation about all the wildest things you can imagine. And we will be doing a discussion very soon. I'm not going to say any more details beyond that. But we seem to have the ability to meet all of the royalty of the elite children. I'm speaking of the Hollywood director royalty class, right? Like we've done Sean Stone, we've done Andrei Tarkovsky, and then we'll have a new Hollywood friend that we will be doing an interview with, I think this week, maybe. No, actually, I forgot. We got the conference this week, so it might be a couple weeks out, but it's going to be fun. We had a great conversation. No, it's not. I've not talked to Mel Gibson or Nick Cage, but anyway, I'm going to try to get Yvonne to come on too, because he's made all these John Travolta, Nick Cage movies, and it's like, I want to talk about. We got to hear some crazy stories. Maybe we'll see if he'll go there. I'm not going to say who the offspring royalty is, but anyway, thank you guys so much. Great show today. A lot of fun. Everybody have a good night, and I will see you very soon.